Hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be discussing CAM programming automation. My name is Candis Spraul and I do the marketing here at Swoosh Technoloiges. In a minute we'll be joined by Brian Brown, who is an application engineer here, and he'll walk you through the demo and all the things essential to NX CAM programming. Just a little bit about Swoosh real quick. We are a full solutions provider, meaning that we sell all the software and we fully support and train in that software. So if you have any questions throughout, go ahead and use the questions panel on your GoToMeeting panel and ask any questions. We may wait till the end, depending on timing, to answer all the questions. So feel free to ask anything and we'll get to those. So go ahead, Brian, take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a very brief overview of some of the tools for customizing and automating the CNC programming side of NX. It's going to be very high level. I have at least 2 demos, possibly 3 depending on time, and we'll start. The first way, or what I'm going to talk about, is the user interface, the reuse library, the use of templates. The tools is basically a solid tools, which is just basically a visualization thing. The documentation where we can customize it. You can simulate your machine tools in NX, feature-based machining, and the creation of wizards. Why you customize is speeding up the CNC programming process, to eliminate repetitive tasks, to standardize tooling, to standardize machining processes so your operators see the same tool path all the time, the elimination of errors. This is done by simply inputting data once. You can force company policies, programming policies, by customizing, and you can also set up wizards where you can have non-CNC programmers create CNC programs. First is the interface customizations. We can do macros, we can do custom toolbars, we can do journal files, which is similar to a macro, just you can dictate which language they're written in. You can write custom PAX files, which allows you to create C parts with custom templates built into them. I'll show you 2 examples of those. You can have grip programs, you can do user tools, and open API programs. The simplest form of customizing is a macro. I created a simple macro here. I'm going to tell it to play it back. And I'm going to change the color of my workpiece. I created it, it tells me to pick it, and there I could have my workpiece set the same color and translucency every time. To take that a step farther, I'm going to attach it to a toolbar. Again, my macro is attached. All I got to do is select my workpiece, and it's the same color every time. I touched on a custom PAX file. What a custom PAX file is, a tab. When I hit File New, my HAWS VF1 setup here, I have simply as a vice in the table. Comes in every time. We go then to select my manufacturing model, and everything is set up consistently. And I can have templates built onto that, which would aid in the programming process. To take it a step farther, I got the same setup, but I have the machine for simulation built in. I'm going to tell it to cancel. Tell it to open a part. I'm just going to bring in a quick assembly and hit OK, and my machine will display. It should display. My search options were wrong, so now it should display. Should go find that machine, and there's my machine tool brought in. It would be one step farther. The reuse library, it simply is basically a library where it saves you multiple clicks of bringing parts in and out of the assembly. It is handled. I have my reuse library here. my examples, I'm just going to very quickly show you. There's the available 3-jaw chucks out of the box. And there's a downloadable zip file at GTAC. You can grab these, and I can bring that in and then manipulate it. I can open my vice jaws, and it's built into the reuse library. Very quick. Does not take time where you're navigating through your directory structure to find your parts. Template parts, any part can be used as a template. You have the ability inside of any NX file to customize your dialog boxes, so you could build templates where you tell the operator specifically on which edge to pick for the geometry. Again, I touched on you can combine templates with C parts to speed up your programming process, streamlining it. And when you're using template parts, it is best to attach the templates at the geometry parent level. It will bring in every piece of data associated with the template if it's attached to the geometry parent. Tools, I touched on, you can use solid tools. Solid tools are basically nothing more than a visual that you can see your actual tool running internal to your CNC program in NX. The MRL is a manufacturing resource library. This will actually pull from Kennametal, Sandvik, and ISCAR at this point, but it also requires Teamcenter to operate. Documentation. The use of shop docs. If you guys aren't using shop docs, you're missing a very easy solution to documentation. You can do it in text format or HTML format. The example here on the right I've created for a customer where it's pulling his operation, his tool number, the tool name, spindle speed, the cut feed rate, and the tool diameter, and the compensation number. Excel is a lot easier to customize. You do not need any programming knowledge with the Excel version other than you need to know Excel. The text format, you would be required to know TCL programming to customize the text versions of these shop docs also. Simulation, we can actually verify the CNC program on your machine tool as it's cutting. You can run it through pre-posted data and you can run it through posted data, and we can also do handwritten code with a different button pick. That's not a problem. You can combine it, as you've seen, with the seed part where all the geometry is preloaded in the machine or in your seed part, so your operators can place the parts consistently on a machine tool to speed up the process. Feature-based machining. I'm going to do a demo here shortly. This is where we will pick a solid model, tell it to find the features, and tell it to program the part automatically. It will do about 75 to 80% of everything that you have. I do not ever see it doing 100%, but you may have the rare case it can. It will save significant amount of CNC programming time. Siemens has productivity increases of 10 times. It will reduce mistakes, the quantity of mistakes, and it will reduce mistakes in simple programming tasks. It will allow your programmer to dedicate more time to non-critical and non-repetitive tasks, your harder cutting paths. It will standardize processes and standardize cutting tools. The operation supported by feature-based is Z-level machining, variable axis Z-level machining, plunge milling, surface contouring, planar milling, turning, the turning test cut, thread milling, the whole boss milling, and the EDM machines. 3 aspects of feature-based is teaching features, then you teach the operations, and then you have a machining knowledge editor to edit parameters within either one of those operations or features. Quick demo on feature-based machining. Here I have a part. If I go over to my I'm going to start manufacturing. My operation manager, you can see there's no operations. So I'm going to go to my machining feature navigator. I'm going to tell it to find all my features. Simply right mouse button, find features. And it's going to run through the algorithm. And I can tell it parametric recognition or feature recognition. I'm going to tell it parametric. And down here I'm going to tell it to find my features. And it will populate this window of what it finds. Hit OK to accept them. And these are the available features that the feature-based machining has picked up. And we can add features on the fly. It's just beyond the scope of this webinar. And to simply program the part now, I selected all my features, right mouse button, create feature process. And it's going to go through an algorithm again, finding all the available CNC features that I have, operations that I have taught to the available features. It's done. I go back to my operations manager, and there's the available features. Now simply all I have to do is to generate my operations. I'll accept my paths, hit yes. And then I can verify my program. And that's what it did for me automatically. If you noticed, it didn't cut my notches. I'm going through my unused portion, and I can grab them and bring them down. I drug them to the wrong place, so I'm going to cut them. Paste. I got a little bit of reordering to do. I'm going to generate. And if you notice, my spot drill, my drilling changed, needed to be regenerated because it read the in-process workpiece. So I got to generate again. Now if I verify, it will mill away those corner notches. You notice it still didn't do the tapered, so I'll just drag that down. I can generate that. And now if I verify, it should be a workable program. Should not break any tools now. And finally is Wizards. With Wizards and NX9, the Process Studio is automatically installed. If you use NX85, you have to download that from GTAC. A Wizard will automate the programming task will aid in best practices. It forces a user into machining methods and practices similar to feature-based. It will force cutting tool selections, and it will permit non-programmers to program in NX. A wizard is created in the Process Studio in NX9 by going to your All Programs, selecting NX9, and this is the Process Studio author. We'll start up here. This is a very fast that I created for this webinar, and you will build your process here. If you can see my right side of my screen, it will tell the operator exactly what they need to do. Back at the welcome screen, I have it customized where I welcomed you to the webinar. And to go back into NX now, the wizards are under the Wizards tab. This is the webinar example. I'll pick on it, and my wizard appears, and the operator simply has to read what the wizard is telling it to do. First thing is to specify an MCS. So I'm just going to drag it to the opposite corner so you can see it changing, and simply next through it. It wants me to specify my workpiece. And select OK and hit next. The next one's going to be my blank. Hit OK. Hit next. It wants me to name my tool. I'm going to accept the defaults. Tool location. In this case, the pockets of the machine. I'm going to pick pocket 2. The diameter I'm going to leave at 1 inch. Let's change that to 7.5. I'm going to name my path webinar, hit next. Once my tool number, sorry I hit back, I thought I hit next. I'm going to name it webinar. It wants me to select the program. I'm going to make it a finished methods group, hit next. My depth of cut it's asking for, let's make this 0.5. And I can generate my toolpath. And there's my automatic toolpath. I hit next and finish. If I go back up to my operation navigator, there's my toolpath. And I can, at this point, I can go modify it, do whatever I want. Just to show that it's doing it, I'll quickly verify it. And this toolpath was simply created by creating a wizard and walking through the wizard. Hit OK, I accept it. That concludes anything I have. How about something from you, Candis?
Sure. I just want to wrap it up and give you guys our contact information. You can go ahead and email me if you have any questions. I can point you in the right direction as where to find those answers in the future. You also have our phone number there and our website. You can go on the website and ask any questions as well. And if you have any questions right now, go ahead and fill in the questions panel. We have a few that came through I want to go ahead and ask. First off, do you offer training for this customization? And the answer to that is yes. We offer training for NX and NX CAM, at all different levels. We can also customize those to your company, but we do offer a customization course. And if I'm correct, Brian, didn't you teach a course last week?
Yes, I was on site at a customer last week teaching this exact class.
Great. So yeah, I mean, we can customize the courses to your skill level, to your needs, and we offer a variety of things. You can go on our website here at www.swooshtech.com. We have a training schedule. If you don't see a class you want or you're interested in, just let us know, and we'll set something up. We can come to you. You can come to us. We're real flexible with our training. And then another question from Bill. It looks like you mentioned GTech twice. Can you, explain what that is?
It's the Global Technical Access Center. If you create a web key on Siemens support page, you can actually download a lot of software from Siemens automatically. And you can do that to create a web key. It's under Help, Online Technical Support. You can do all that. And this is NX9. Your 8.5 has the same thing under your Help drop down there also.
All right, great. And those are the only questions that came through. If you guys think of anything in the future, go ahead and email me or respond to any of the follow-up emails from this webinar. The recording will be going out soon, so you can rewatch and catch up anything that you may have missed or you want to go back and watch. We also have 2 follow-up webinars that you will be getting an email about that you can go ahead and sign up. One is on probing. That is the next one, I think, in 2 weeks. So go ahead, sign up for that, and learn more about NXCam. Thank you, Brian, for showing us this today.
You're welcome, everybody. Have a good day.
All right.